Today, we will be going over my Liar's Handshake Hunter build. This build is perfect for those bosses that are in close proximity. Let's start by going over the subclass. For this build, our Hunter is incredible to use. For our super, the Gathering Storm super deals great damage over time. This will allow us to use our build in action while this super does damage. The key part of this build is our melee. Combination blow shines in this build, dealing additional damage after each kill. Pair this with Gambler's Dodge, which allows us to refund our melee when dodging near enemies. Stay until the end of the video to see this build in action. For our aspects, the first one will be Lethal Current, which gives us additional range for our melee and causing an arc explosion. The second aspect is Flow State, which makes us amplified, making us more resilient. For our fragments, Spark of Resistance is the first one, providing resistance while surrounded. The second fragment is Spark of Feedback. This allows us to deal more melee damage when we take melee damage. Then we have Spark of Ions, which spawns an ionic trace after defeating a jolted target. Finally, Spark of Amplitude, which will be spawning more orbs while amplified. For our weapons, a 1-to-punch shotgun shines with any melee build, causing your melee to deal increased damage. Pair this with the exotic shotgun, Tractor Cannon, providing a 30% increase to our damage. You can use whatever you want for your primary weapon. I am using a Solar SMG as it shines in Season 23. Now it's time for the armor mods. For the helmet, Hands-On is a helpful mod to gain our super fast, as we will be getting to back very quickly. Mods like Dynamo also gets our super back quickly. Now the exotic gauntlets. Liar's Handshake provides more melee damage and health regeneration after every other hit. Add Heavy-Handed for more orb generation. For the chest piece, you can use whatever mods you want, depending on the activity you're up against. For the boots, you will be healing thanks to all the orbs you are generating. Mods like Recuperation and Better already provide that healing. For the cloak, Reaper provides orbs if you decide to use weapons instead of melee. Like the chest piece, you can decide what other mods to use. For stat distribution, Resistance is a must for any class. Focus on 100 Resilience. Bonus points for 100 Mobility and 100 Discipline. Here's a quick summary of the build. Feel free to pause and take a screenshot. And if you're interested, here is the Hunter drip I use for this build. Now, let's use this build against a close-range boss.